At the height of you doing multiple shows a week, what was your best paying gig? Usually was Africa, because the way we were doing it and thinking about it was, we actually we were trying to do, so you have different strategies, right? In terms of performance, right? You can do a few shows and get paid more. So let's say you sell your show at 5,000, and there's a lot of clubs that don't have enough people, because you have to understand the reality of a market, right? If your market is hip hop and there's 1 million hip hop fans, and whenever you do a show, the capacity of 5,000 or 2,000 is always filled in a club. Let's say whenever you go somewhere, you put 2,000 people. Then in this case, if the 2,000 people each pay $20 to enter for your show, so you generate 40,000 to the club. So if they have to pay security, this, that, you can ask them for 5,000, 10,000, and if you are, the bigger you are, the bigger you can have some. These club can, even if you ask for more than that, they can have sponsors, etc., because the people will want to put their brand behind you. Now, if you are in a small market like the Kizomba market or the Zouk market or the African clubs market, where usually clubs maximum is 500 people, 300 people, 500 people, 600 people, then you have to, and people are not willing to pay 20 to go in a club. Usually the women don't pay. So let's say it's, let's say 200 people pay 15 euros. So they only make like 3,500, something like that. So at that point, if they make 3,000 from your show, plus bottles, and let's say they make 4,000 in one show you do, right? And after they pay all the expenses, etc., of making you come, they have to pay the train for your dancers, your manager, your hotel rooms, etc., etc. Let's say they make a benefit of 3,000. Then they have to pay you, and if you ask them for 5,000, it makes no sense. So I had different strategies at the time. So we had different strategies at the time. One strategy was like, okay, let's open up to different crowds, because don't forget that in 1998, when I arrived in the game, the Zouk game was West Indies clubs and that's it. And Zouk was for people from the West Indies and some African people, but it was really like for them, by them, etc. And it was, most of the songs were sung in Creole or in French, but mostly in Creole. So first of all, I arrived with Zouk song mixed with R&B, opening. I arrived with Zouk songs in English. So I had access to way more people, right? So because it was in English, not only did I have access to the French crowd, the West Indies crowd, but I also had access to the Portuguese crowd, the Angolan crowd, the Cape Verdean crowd, etc., etc., Guinea-Bissau, whatever. Switzerland, Belgium in the side where they speak Dutch. So the Antwerp, etc., etc. So I was first of all creating a bigger market for myself, because I had some songs in English, some songs in Creole, some songs in French, and some songs in Spanish, some songs in Portuguese. It was even a bigger amount of people that was bringing in my shows. And something that was very interesting very early in 2000, 2001, 2002 was that my shows were actually full of it had a great mix of people. It was usually 30% people from the West Indies, 30% Africans, and 30% white people. And I worked on that direction to open, and culturally mix my music with others' musics and try to cross over, and at the same time staying not underground, but see, so that now that you have a bigger market than everybody, because I always had a bigger market in the zouk kizomba industry, and even coupé décalé. I always had a bigger market than everybody else because of that strategy. So if you have a bigger market than everybody else, but it's small clubs that can only have like 500 people, instead of selling your shows for 5,000, 10,000, you sell your shows at 2,000, but you try to do 3 shows every week. Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday afternoon, or maybe depending. And sometimes Friday night, Saturday, like in somewhere, like let's say you have a show in Paris, you do a show in Paris at 4 a.m. And before that, you do a show in a city that's 2 hours away from Paris, like Orléans, or Lille is 1 hour away. So you do another one. So that's 3 shows, that's 6,000. And that's what I would do. That was the strategy, was like, okay, let's do cheaper, but let's do more. Now at the same time, let me tell my wife to stop. Yeah, listen, I don't know why my wife needs to yell all the time when she's on the phone. I don't know. It must be because, yeah, she's from Guinea. They just yell. Não estás a fazer muito barulho.
Estou a fazer barulho, desculpa. Veja.
Bisous. So, now, another thing was, Africa was a place where we didn't sell any CDs because there was just no market. There was infrastructure, places, so you don't sell CDs there. So your music is big out there because of Trace TV, but at the same time, you're not selling nothing. So you're not making any copyrights, you don't make any mechanical rights, and you don't make any intellectual rights. So, and everybody knows your song, and everybody has your song because of piracy. So, and you don't go to Africa. I mean, when I go Africa, it's a continent. So there's 56 countries. So you don't go to these 56 countries every week the same way you go to every city in France, right? But when you do one tour in Ivory Coast, and you're going to do Abidjan, Yamoussoukro, and maybe another one, maybe Assini, maybe Bouaké, you do 4 shows, but these one you sell them 10K because you are taking into account all the money you're not making from CD sales, piracy, people playing your music on TV without paying for any rights, etc. This is where you're gonna do like 3 shows and rack 30K. Then once you did Ivory Coast, you go back for a month in France, you do Paris, Brussels, you continue doing your all the cities in the places where people are buying your CDs, and you can do small clubs, bigger average clubs, and you tell everybody same price. And then after that, once a month have passed, you go to Libreville, Gabon, and you do 2 shows in Libreville. You fill a stadium with 50, 30, 10,000 people, and here you get paid 15K, 20K, and then the next day they come with a bag full of money. They're like, yo, listen, here's another 20K, please. You have to do another show. You cannot take the plane. Well, but don't worry, we pay for everything. And you might stay a whole week because a lot of people might come and see what you did the first day and bring bags of money. So you can make 100K in 2 weeks. That's when you rack up in Africa. Because it's bigger places, because of political, whatever, and then some other places, they might not pay you as much, but they might ask you to come for 10 shows. So they might tell you, hey, we can only pay you, it's gonna be crowds of 1,000 people, 1,500 people, but it's the people, it's our people, it's Africa. They pay more or less $2 per ticket, sometimes less. But we have sponsors and stuff. We can give you, let's say, 3,000 or 4,000, but we have 10 shows lined up for you in every city in Mozambique. So you go, you stay 2 weeks, and you rack. So you just have to find the right strategy. And then, sometimes, listen, I think to answer your question I don't know how to answer small, but to answer your question in the actual best way I would say that the best paying I ever did was Cabinda in Angola. The guy came to me in a club and say, yo, we want you in Angola with Mika Mendes, I think, and Sumia, I believe. No, that was not this one. I forgot who I went with, but yeah, we want you guys in Angola, and we're giving you 10,000 each. All right, cool. And then, so we get ready, we go there. So we're getting ready for the show. And as the show is starting, so it was a modeling show. It was Miss Cabinda, actually. And as we about to perform in an hour, they tell me, you have 1 minute to perform. I was like, what you mean 1 minute? I'm performing in 1 minute? No. Your show is 1 minute. It's between two defilés of the girls. You guys have 1 minute to, you and your DJ create a 1 minute mix of two of your most popular songs. We want this song and that song, but it has to be condensed in 1 minute. And me, I'm like, 1 minute? The hell? You have to respect our music. And the guy came with 10,000 euros. I was like, yo, listen, please take your money. It's 1 minute. I was like, well, think about it. 10,000 for 1 minute? All right, listen. I came, destroy everything. When I arrived, everybody was yelling. And listen, I started performing. Then all the models came and they were dancing, and everybody was like, and after 1 minute, the show was over. 10K. And everybody was saying, yo, this was the best show we ever seen. Oh my God, you have to stay, you have to do it. Listen, it is what it is. And actually, I have this show. Let me show it to you. It was me and Nelson Freitas.
Yeah, what?
So this is Cabinda, Angola. This is in 2007. That's my agent. Still the same guy. He just lost a lot of weight. So we're going to the place. So this is backstage.
Homie.
Lots of food. This is backstage, bro. A buffet. After that, let's get Nelson Freitas. We're getting ready.
You know what I'm saying? Now, Mr. Magic Kaysha,
Deeper was a hit at that time. So So this is the first person who performed. Nelson Freitas performed 1 minute, and then after that,
Make like spice beats.
then it was me. So yeah, took some girls, sang a little bit. It was a little bit of everything for probably a minute and a half. Then I did on the one of my Afro song, and then it was done. And all the bottles were there. Oh my God! Can we sleep with you? And then we did, and I think after that they said, "Oh, please, you have to stay. You have to do another song." So we did Deeper with Nelson Freitas, and we went in the public. So yeah, I believe that in terms of how much we had to work and how much we got paid, that was the best show ever. Bro, listen, minimum effort. You know, you finish your show, you're not even sweating. This is one of those shows. We perform maybe in total, both of us, maybe 6 minutes in total.